Most of you have come to know me as the funny ballboard man, Raggins. But how much do you really know about me? Well, for starters, I was born in Toronto in the year 2001, the same year the first Pikmin game released. My real name is Andre. Don't worry, you can still call me Raggins. My whole life, I really only wanted one thing: to feel a sense of belonging. So I think it's time I finally tell you how Raggins came to be. This is the story of a boy who would do everything for everyone except himself. And no better place to start than the very beginning. I spent most of my childhood sitting in front of a GameCube alongside my brother, playing games like Smash Bros. Melee, Pokemon Channel, and the Pikmin series. Most of the time though, I wasn't even playing. I would just sit and watch. I wouldn't speak too much either. I was a very emotional kid growing up, which resulted in me becoming a prime victim for bullies. So at the age of 3, my parents thought it would be a good idea to put myself and my brother in martial arts. Throughout my first 10 years of training, I never really took it that serious, mostly because all the attention was on my overachieving older brother. I was just the little brother living in a shadow. So I never really gave myself a reason to put the effort in. Eventually, in 2013, I half-assed my way through the ranks and achieved my junior black belt. Looking back at it, this was probably one of the worst things that could have happened because it taught me for the longest time that laziness and mediocrity could get me through life. It was also around this time that I started my YouTube channel. I decided to call it Smashcraft, combining two of my favorite games, Smash Bros. And Minecraft. I mainly uploaded Minecraft Let's Plays and a few animation tutorials that absolutely blew up my channel and got me my first 1,000 subs. About a year later, I was about to face my biggest challenge yet: high school. One of my toxic traits is that I tend to value myself as a person based off of the approval of others. Meaning, I'll do anything to feel a sense of belonging, even if it means abandoning everything I love. And I did. Come high school, in fear of being called a nerd, I retired my black belt and deleted most of my YouTube videos. I'm not gonna lie, high school was really fun for the most part. I met some pretty cool people who I can now call some of my closest friends, and we did some pretty crazy shit. Unfortunately, I also met some people who didn't really care for me. For some reason, I really sought validation from them and ended up basically becoming a new person just to feel accepted. I watched shows I didn't enjoy, I listened to music I didn't like, I even dressed different. I changed myself for the sake of others, and it took me until grade 12 to even realize it. I know this sounds cheesy, but in that final year, I started to become myself again. I went back to the dojo to start teaching my students, and I reawoken my creative side, this time in the style of film. I don't want to brag, but I excelled in my media arts class. Short films, commercials, professional headshots, graphic design, I've done it all. I took up some photography gigs, created some advertisements, became the primary marketer for a small business, and I even created my own fucking NFT. I finally felt like I was doing the things that I wanted to do. I graduated in June 2019, partied through the summer, and started my first year of university. Then, I'm pretty sure we all know what happened. COVID-19 was probably the best thing to ever happen to me. I considered it the start of my adult life. A lot of my friends at the time were D1 athletes who went to school in America, and they had to get sent back home due to the world shutting down. We were now faced with a dilemma. Where the hell are we supposed to work out? Lucky for me, I had access to an entire dojo that wasn't being used at all, so for the next 6 months, I was on a training arc. My friends taught me everything about fitness. I became stronger, faster, more confident. But if you want me to be honest, at first, I didn't do it for myself. I only did it because I thought I would finally fit in. But with time, I really started to appreciate the lessons my friends taught me. To this day, I still take fitness extremely serious, and it's all thanks to them. They taught me a very valuable mindset, and it was the first time in my life that I worked towards something and felt like I actually deserved it. Come late 2020, lockdown slowly came to an end and my friends went back to school. Due to COVID, I dropped out instead and dedicated most of my time to the dojo and fitness. With the newfound strength, knowledge, and confidence I gained over lockdown, I finally felt worthy of teaching a group of students. I started to take martial arts a lot more serious, picking up kickboxing and taekwondo alongside karate. My senseis were all extremely impressed with how much I improved, considering before lockdown, they knew me as a spoiled little brat. And one day, my sensei asked me a question that would stay lingering in my head for the rest of my life. What does it mean to be a sensei? I knew the answer wasn't something as simple as someone who has a black belt, so I pondered on the question for a long time. A couple months later, I tested for my second degree black belt. It's basically some trial thing where you showcase all your skills. We don't really need to get into the details, but long story short, I shined through the whole test and passed with flying colors. Shortly after that, the same sensei who asked me that question came up to me and told me that I inspired him to start training again. And that's when it hit me. I knew my answer to his question. A sensei's duty is to inspire. In February 2021, I got COVID, and it was bad. I was bedridden, I felt like shit, I was locked in my room for 14 days, so to pass the time, I dusted off my old Wii and found this relic of a game sitting in the back of my closet. Pikmin 2. A game my brother and I played throughout all of our childhood, but never saw it through to the end because it was just too difficult. However, in a measly 2 days, I 100%ed Pikmin 2 and gave Pikmin 3 Deluxe a try also. Basically, while I was in quarantine, I went through a huge Pikmin phase again, replaying all 3 games and giving a couple ROM hacks a try. It was then where I once again fell in love with the nostalgic series that I used to hold so close to my heart. Quite a few things happened over the next year, but I'll go through them quickly. I dropped out of college again, started graphic designing, I did some photo shoots, kept working out, I played a lot of Minecraft and Smash Bros, bought some NFTs, made a shitload of money, but it costed my sanity. I ended up losing the money I made. I also lost friends, and I lost myself. I went on a power trip where I just wanted more and more and more money until I got completely consumed by greed and anger. The worst part is, I allowed myself to take it that far just because I wanted the people in my life to be proud of me for once. Little did I know it would push them all away. I was very lonely at this time in my life. Had it not been for my family and the dojo, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I spent the next little while recovering, trying to humble myself and trying to fix those broken ties. A lot of things returned back to normal, but some of the wounds never quite healed. Despite the mistakes I made, things were slowly getting better. Life was alright. And on September 13, 2022, it happened. I literally screamed. I've never been more excited for any piece of media in my life than I was for Pikmin 4. I was hyped for weeks after the trailer. I watched every Pikmin 4 video I could find on YouTube. Reactions, theories, breakdowns, I don't care. If I had Pikmin 4 in the title, I was gonna watch it. But very quickly, I found that there wasn't much Pikmin content out there. Like, at all. I found myself constantly refreshing YouTube looking for new videos. But other than a select few creators, there weren't many active Pikmin YouTubers at the time. Fast forward to early February 2023 when that second trailer dropped and PikTube was still kinda quiet. There was hype for about a week or so, but after that there wasn't a whole lot of Pikmin content on YouTube. With very little going on in my life at the time, I thought to myself, what if I did this? I mean, I'm very sufficient in video editing, highly skilled in Photoshop, I'm comfortable with public speaking, and I know how to market. Not to mention I already had an old YouTube channel with some 1,000 subscribers. Maybe I should give this YouTube thing a try again. And with all the puzzle pieces coming together, I didn't do it. I was scared. Despite all the growing I've done over the past few years, that fear of what other people thought about me still lived rent-free in my head. I was so scared that people I knew would find my channel and judge me, so I didn't do it. As the Pikmin 4 hype started ramping up, I slowly fell into a depression. I felt like everyone around me was doing so much more than I was. I dropped out of university twice. I only worked 15 hours a week. I started to let my body go. I wasted my days being an unproductive idiot. There were days where I'd look in the mirror and feel nothing but disgust because I just hated myself. In May, my family planned a trip to Miami, which I thought would be a good way to take a break and reevaluate my plans for the future. But it only made things worse. We stayed right at Ball Harbor, and seeing those young, rich, successful people who seemed to have their whole life figured out made me feel so much worse about mine. I felt something that I've never felt before in my life. Anxiety. My stomach was killing me. My confidence was out the window. I even had my first panic attack in the hotel room. No denying that I had a lot of fun in Miami, but it was still a shit show. When I came back to Toronto, things were at an all-time low. It felt like there was no hope for the future. I felt like I lost and I was ready to give up. After what felt like 2 of the worst weeks of my life, I tried something that I learned through martial arts. It's how to clear your mind. Most people know it as meditation. In a nutshell, I spent the whole day essentially in a conversation with myself and tried to figure out how I can move forward with my life. I ultimately came to the conclusion that I had to go back to school, but I wasn't going to force myself to take another program I didn't care about. This time, I chose to do what I wanted to do. After a few weeks, I got accepted into my local college for videography. I felt happy. For the first time in a while, my life actually had some sort of direction. There was one problem though. School didn't start for another 3 months. I thought about relaxing the whole summer before school starts, and that was my plan, but I still felt like I had to do more. When scrolling through YouTube, I stumbled across this video called The Pikmin Iceberg, and I found it absolutely astounding, seeing all these Pikmin creators I watched over the past few months together in one massive video. After that, there was only one thought going through my head. I want this. A few days of character development later, I came to the conclusion that I should at least try and upload a video to YouTube. I figured it was good timing so I can refresh my skills before school starts. So after about a day, I created and uploaded this video, initiating the revival of my channel and the birth of Ragans. My first video did well, and the second one did even better. So much better that the people who I watch commented on my channel. I started to pump out videos releasing at least 2 times a week, and then I guess the YouTube gods wanted to bless me because this video exploded. 20,000 views in one day. It's kind of ironic considering how wrong my theory was in this video, but besides the point. My YouTube channel was booming, hit after hit after hit. Pikmin 4 launched and I planned to take a break for about a week, but I couldn't. I barely even played Pikmin 4 because I was having way too much fun in YouTube. I kept that consistency going and released a few more bangers, which resulted in me reaching 10,000 subscribers in only 3 months. I finally reached my goal. And it was perfect timing too, because school was about to start. I was scared though, because I didn't know how I was going to manage school, YouTube, the dojo, and my own personal health all at the exact same time. But despite the lazy habits that plagued my whole life, I still managed to do it. And I think it's because I felt like you guys were relying on me to put out that new video every Saturday morning. I wouldn't allow myself to let you down, and thank you for that. The constant support and pressure of YouTube helped me develop such an amazing work ethic. This was around the time I formally got invited to the Pikmin community. I reached out to a creator you might know as Wiggleman for a collab, and he ended up introducing me to all the people I used to watch, and they were all so nice to me. It felt weird. It's like I finally belonged. Things were going too well. I reached the goals I set, so I set higher. I planned to hit 15,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Little did I know, my channel already peaked. I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. Here's my channel stats over its entire lifespan, and as you can see, the past few months don't look the greatest. And although it was demotivating, I kind of expected it. Summer's over, and the Pikmin 4 hype was dying down. It made sense that my channel wasn't getting as much traction as before. Over the next 2 months, I started putting out videos that weren't at their best quality. YouTube wasn't the same anymore. I still enjoyed it, but a small part of me felt like it was a burden. I wanted to branch off to new forms and styles and topics of content, but my audience only wanted Pikmin, hence why I just kept pumping them out. I started to wonder if all the popularity I got was because of me as a creator, or just because of the hype of Pikmin 4. I mean, I've really only done Pikmin on this channel, so it kind of makes sense, but I was done changing myself for others. That's why I created the Ragans Pikmis month. It was a last-ditch effort to reach my goal of 15,000 subscribers before the end of 2023. I gathered around all my best video ideas and spent the entire month of November editing away preparing for Pikmis. 2 videos a week, 2 shorts a week, daily polls, a community challenge, and a massive Pikmin YouTube collab. It was fail-proof. I didn't know how I was going to pull it off, but I somehow did. I took most of the month of December off because I pre-recorded most of my videos. On my little break, I spent a lot more time at the dojo again. The kids would always ask me about my YouTube because they'd see me edit, and they've actually helped me make a few thumbnails, so shout out them. But they'd tell me how they want to be like me. They want to do YouTube. They want to be a black belt. They look up to me. That made me realize something. I've always belonged. My entire life I was accepted by the people at the dojo. Regardless of how strong or weak, how confident or shy I was, they cared for me. I was just too tunnel visioned to see it. Unfortunately, I didn't feel the same way about YouTube until recently. I felt like people only cared for me when I made the content they wanted to watch, and that put me down quite a bit. But there were 2 videos that changed my mind. I got some amazing feedback on my Pikmis challenge and PickTuber collab. 2 videos that I made not because I had to, but because I wanted to. They took me more effort than any other video, and they were a pain in the ass to make, but I'd say they were both worth it. I was surprised to find out how many people I inspired in this community when I really looked into it. Fans created art for the first time, creators changed up their style. I've seen people replicate my intros and my thumbnails, and that made me extremely happy. I don't care if people copy what I do. If anything, it's a compliment. It tells me that I did something right. It tells me that I managed to reach someone. About the PickTuber collab, I wanted to be a part of the iceberg video so bad, I figured I'd make one myself. I gathered around 30 Pikmin creators and created the most ambitious video on my channel as one final goodbye. That was always my plan. One last content craze for the entire month of December, and then it's over. Now we're in the present. So what comes next? What'll happen to the Ragans channel? I enjoyed making those big, ambitious videos, but they took quite some time to make. Throughout the year, I wanted to stay consistent regardless of the quality. I just kept pumping out videos, and it made me hate YouTube because it turned into something that I had to do rather than something I wanted to. And after giving it some thought, I came to one final conclusion. I'm done. I'm not going to be at the pressure of other people anymore. If I want to take a month off, I will. If I want to upload 6 videos a week, I will. If I want to talk about Knack 2 for 30 minutes straight, I will. Don't take this the wrong way, but you guys don't matter. This is my YouTube channel, and I'm going to do what I want to do. Whether you enjoy it or not, that's not my problem. Because at the end of the day, I'm doing this YouTube thing for myself and no one else. Call me selfish if you want, but I don't care at this point. Your opinion doesn't matter to me anymore. That being said, I'm not exactly quitting YouTube. Just don't be surprised if I disappear for a few weeks. I'm not leaving the Pikmin community either. Even if I'm not making many Pikmin videos, I'll still be a diehard fan of the game and be interacting with the community wherever I can. Also, I will be featured on some other creators' channels as well, so look forward to that. What kind of content will you see in the new year? I'd want to do a little more relaxed video essays, maybe some tier lists. I also want to somehow incorporate my background of film into some new projects and expand my creative liberties. Unfortunately, if I'm going for quality, I might only be able to upload once a month. I also do want to start live streaming. It's an easy and fun way to keep everyone engaged, and it's something I've wanted to do for a while now. And the last question. Since Ragans is taking a little break, where can I go if I want to get more Pikmin content? You see, I knew I was going to stop making Pikmin content for a while now. Why do you think I made these videos right here? I want to showcase some other people in the community because unlike me, they're here to stay. As one of the bigger creators in the space, I do feel bad kind of abandoning everyone, but that's the reason for these videos. If you haven't checked them out already, these videos are your no-nonsense guide to Pikmin YouTube. Subscribe to whichever creators speak to you, because these are the people who will carry the torch on after I leave. After everything I've been through, looking back at it now, I couldn't be more grateful for everything YouTube's brought me. I had a goal, and I saw it through to the very end. I know we didn't reach 15,000 subscribers, but it doesn't matter anymore. All I ever wanted was to impact the community in one way or another, and I can confidently say that I succeeded. I choose to believe that my actions and contributions changed the community for the better, and that's all I ever wanted. At the end of the day, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a sensei. And a sensei's job is to inspire. I hope I did.